This is why you don't start hiking midday, which we are not hiking in this area right here, but this is Alum Cave, and it's 10:30 in the morning, and look at this. Of course, it's fall, and the tourists are out quite heavily, but yeah. Hello everyone! Jerry and I are back out today for another hiking day. Today we're actually in the North Carolina side of the Great Smoky Mountains. We're at Smokemont Campground, and we're going to be hiking on Smokemont Loop today. A friend of ours is finishing his 900-miler, and it's actually his third 900-miler. So pretty impressive. His name is Steve. Anyway, I'm headed over to the bathroom right now before we get started on the hike. It's pretty chilly out. I want to say maybe it's like 40s. Anyway, let's get the hike started. So if you've never been to the Smokemont campground, that's on the North Carolina side of the park. It's a very beautiful campground. Just a lot of tree coverage and just really well maintained here. Just a beautiful area, and fall is a great time to come. As you can see, a lot of the leaves have changed. There's Steve. He's our man of the hour. 3 maps. Pretty impressive. So we're going to be starting here on Bradley Fork Trail. And then we'll be heading over to the Smokemont Loop Trail. So roughly around 6 miles today of hiking. The weather's pretty cool. I'm not exactly sure the exact temperatures. I'm about to say low 40s right now. So, but once you get to hiking, it actually will feel pretty good. So, and it looks like we got a little bit of yellows right here and some oranges. So hopefully we'll have more colors once we hit the trail. We've got a pretty full parking lot. Steve's got him a whole bunch of friends out today to hike with, so should be a pretty good hike. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, this is where the pulpwood was made for the mill in Canton, North Carolina, which is now part of International Paper, most of it. And then on the other side over here, where it necks up down there, it gets really narrow with the creek. On the other side there's an RV area down there, and that was called Smokemont, North Carolina. That was mostly the area where the managers worked and that kind of thing. And when the park was built, it was all torn down. And this was the railroad track that came in about right here and went up this way to cut the trees.
This is a really beautiful area. I actually really like this Smokemont Loop. It is pretty much up and down, but it's just really pretty. I think we're going to see some pretty good colors today.
But we were just up here.
It's like the sky is really blue today. It's beautiful. And the trail goes along the creek. The Smoky Mountains is the perfect place to be for some fall colors, that's for sure.
Just past Upper Smokemont that had probably something. It was more like a real estate development back in the 1920s. It had some of the nicest houses, like this one right here. This was the E.J. Rosser house. And originally, this was called the Rosser Trail. It was supposed to be the nicest trail in the eastern United States. It started its name for E.J. Rosser. We're going to come back down the trail, but it's okay. We're going to sneak right through here a little bit. It'll be kind of a warm up to the Charlie Connor house.
Right now we're hiking off trail. Steve is taking us to some history about Horace Gephardt.
Here's the Reagan house. Everybody can kind of see that. The way we can kind of find where this rock was is finding the pecan trees right here. And there's the Chastain Reagan house. Oh, and the story of the Chastain Reagan house, before that, it was a man named Stillwell that built a sawmill here and actually sawed the hewn timber for one of the first frame houses in the 1800s here on Bradley Fork, kind of a modern home. Before that, it was actually owned by a man named Joe Gunner. So Joe Gunner, G-U-N-T-E-R.
Close enough.
So Joe Gunner actually lived here one time. Wow. So I hope you feel right at home. So when you're in here, this is the feeling of an old home site. It's almost always like this. Just sort of planted, cultivated trees.
Now we're at campsite 50. I know. It's perfect.
It's perfect.
This is campsite 50. There's campground.
And this is probably where the old house was here. And an interesting aspect of this piece of property, beautiful piece of property, is the grazing field. It kind of came with its own bulb. So you can see here's the campsite, and the house site down here. We're standing probably right where the house is right here. And right up here on this hill, it's really level. You can kind of see, you can kind of see through the blue sky right there and see how level that is all the way across there.
Yeah.
That was actually the field up there.
Huh.
This field right here, there's probably about 15 or 20 acres of a grazing field up there where you could try to get the cattle to stay up there and kind of keep them out of your vegetable garden down here. You know. But the history the name of that is kind of an unknown ridge called Mine Ridge.
Steve is just so full of history. He knows so much. So interesting. I have to record him because I don't know any of this stuff. And now we're at the junction with Smokemont.
A lot of water today. Okay, so what
I think this is supposed to be the longest bridge. Woo! I'm not gonna lie, it's a little scary. Woo! That was a little scary. This is very good.
Get over here.
I know.
That's a pretty cool bridge.
It is, man. And now another little bridge.
Baby bridge.
It's 3.9 miles on this trail, and so I'd say probably about 2 miles of it is up, and then you have 2 miles of down. At least that's what I remember. It's been a little while since I've been on this trail. Jerry and I have been on this trail. The last time I hiked this trail, I was like, we had to hike 22 mile a day. This was our last trail. And I was like, I'm gonna make this trail my, you know what?
where it kept going around in circles and top?
Yeah, and
Oh, no.
I'm climbing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have said that. So yeah, the trail showed me who was boss. So I mean, it's pretty steep. Like I said, for a few miles, a couple miles, and that there is a lot of switchbacks, but it's a pretty trail. You can see so many of the leaves have already fell on the ground. It gets steep pretty quick. This makes it a little more challenging. We come to our first switchback. Well, it's better to have them than not have them. See the switchbacks right there. Just keeps climbing. It's nice when they at least cut the fallen trees so you don't have to climb over them. All in all, I mean, the trail itself, it's not too bad. I mean, there are some roots, but for the most part, it's just packed dirt, so it's not too bad. And then you'll go through a really nice rhododendron tunnel. It gets a little flat right here, so you get a break for a minute. Not too long. There's a lot of shade on this trail, a lot of foliage coverage, a lot of trees. So even when it's pretty sunny, it will feel at least somewhat cooler here. Although when you're climbing up pretty steep, if you're like me, you're gonna feel hot. Just my heart rate increases a lot when I'm going up. Well, it looks like the group is congregating over here. Steve is probably telling some history.
Colin's house, this beautiful house right here, and George Massa took a picture. See this front porch right here. So we're going to go. The house, of course, is gone, but these boxwoods are still there, and this stone wall is still there. And there's their mailbox, and so they had mail delivery there at one time. But this front porch right here is where this picture is. They have this giant birthday party. This is Charlie Connor right here. This is Horace Kephart, and this picture taken by the end of that front porch is George Massa standing in front right here.
Lots of pretty color. Dang, I want a picture. For this trail will have you feeling like it's never gonna end. It's just such a steady steep up that it's not bad. This part is so steep that I'm actually hiking on my tiptoes to get up this part. I'll just tell you. Reach the top and it's glorious. It's just really pretty colors. Look at this. It's beautiful. And now it's all down. Here we go. It's just so pretty. Look at the beautiful colors. They're just gorgeous. Wow, it's just beautiful through here.
Chestnut box, Steve.
Is it chestnut?
Yeah. You think it is? I know it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look, it has that grain.
Yeah.
You can always tell by the.
You can always tell by the twisted bark.
And if it
do
feels
not
like it's
see
hard
that
as
very
woodpecker
often.
lips.
That's really fabulous.
Isn't that amazing? I think it's one of the few left in the park like this, at least next to
Now we're starting to get closer to the end of the trail.
And I have to take the time to look, but they got like glasses.
Yeah.
It's been it's a really nice trail for as far as the just.
name's Adrian, and he works.
It's not too bad steep going down. I mean, like, so you got the up going, but it's only for, you know, you got a couple miles at the most of up, but just so happy to see so much color, especially because the higher elevations, the leaves have already come off the trees. Love seeing the leaves fall off the trees too. Look how like the sun kind of popped out. The leaves on the ground are just so pretty.
You are snagged.
I think Isaac Bradley was the first Bradley here who bought all this, where we walked through down there is Bradley Town, all the old houses, and had about 10 children and subdivided the land, you know, several hundred, maybe close to 1,000 acres, with like 100 acres to each of the kids. So it literally was Bradley Town. Everybody was named Bradley, and then the grandchildren were Chastain Reagan was a grandchild.
I had to get away from the group for a second. I had to take a potty break. Man, it's so pretty out here with all the leaves changed. It's beautiful. Glad we were able to get out today. It really turned out to be a beautiful day. Look at the sky.
Most people who hike together today met through hiking Smokies. So, you know, we passed 40,000 members about a month ago.
Everybody could.
All right, so everybody, while you're grabbing at least 2 cupcakes or maybe 3.
Please. First, authentic miner, hiker, miners.
A miner's band.
She did a good job.
The real Charlie Sponge, the real one.
That is too cool.
All right, so now we're doing a little midway. It's off trail. You had to walk along 411 to get to it. We're a little behind. Took us a little while to get back to our car. So, try to catch up. There's like a little old bridge here. Oh, whoa. Oh my God, I just about killed Mom. Wow, I just about fell. I literally just about fell on my butt.
Oh, I did. Did you see me slide across the bridge?
That was bad.
Like back in the skateboarding day.
Yeah, did I see me fall back there?
Did you fall too? Oh my gosh, yeah, that was slick. That's what scares me about these.
I just kept going. I was like, whoa, I just kept going.
Try not to slip and fall.
We get a bonus for that, right? We call those a bonus, you know.
Whoa.
Oh, it's slick on the end.
Yeah, careful.
Oh, you need to do that.
So here we go.
The road that comes out the back of Newfound Gap What's it come down and T-intersect into this turnpike up there somewhere? Because that road extends a fairly long distance out the back of Newfound Gap Park.
That was the second road. That was actually US 441 before 1963.
Gotcha.
Okay. So your US, and when the Hikers Tunnel actually was open, when 441 was rerouted in the 60s, it cut out the backside of the Hikers Tunnel. Have you been through the Hikers Tunnel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so that's the turnpike right here. You could follow this all the way to Indian Gap and all the way down the road prong into Chimney Top's picnic area. It's basically...
I need to start reading up on my history.
I have learned so much from Steve.
I know, yeah.
And I now know so much about Charlie Connor.
Yeah.
And it really bothered me that, well, Charlie Connor, of course, he has Charlie's Bunny, but Mesa is the one that actually discovered it and took him there.
Yeah. Wow, look at this.
How total.
I do not want to get in your picture. I want to get out of the way.
And the moss, I love
Go here.
moss.
I know. Wow, look at
Oh
this.
my gosh.
Wow. That is.
This is incredible.
Wow.
Be there. But the Reverend W.H. Connor was Charlie Connor's grandfather, and he was the Baptist missionary to the Cherokee Indian in the 1850s. And he has extensive family history. You can Google it real easily. Just type in Charlie Connor, W.H. Connor, but he was the pastor of Smokemont Baptist Church down there in Smokemont for about 5 or 6 years. One of the pastors of that church, and he reports baptizing over 1,000 members in the Oconaluftee River, which is amazing for the size of that church. Just a real revival going on here in the 1850s and 1860s. He actually died on Deep Creek trading cattle. This was his cattle. He would buy yearlings from farmers and that type of thing. His wagon turned over in Deep Creek and he died of pneumonia. Then his son inherited the farm here, and his name was Doc Connor. Up there, it was about 1/3 of a mile. So the only reason that bridge is back there is because of the cemetery.
Wow.
So what are we looking at here with this unique design I haven't seen on any other graves?
It was customary in many of the cemeteries, like the Queen Cemetery on the Indian Creek Trail over in Deep Creek, has all these. So some of the cemeteries kind of built these mounds up like this, and family members have maintained it over the years. So the Park Service doesn't necessarily do this.
Right, right.
So these are like mounds of dirt.
Those are mounds of dirt. Place. So we're going to go over to the old side of where the very modern house was.
On a little off-road hiking right now. I would never think to go here at all.
Jim, have you ever heard of any come to this side? Jim's family's from Couch's Creek.
Not at all. So you're saying the corner of the house was where?
Well, the boxwoods here, in the picture you can kind of see the boxwoods right here.
Gotcha, yeah.
So,
yeah,
So you actually walked between the two boxwoods to come up the front steps.
Oh, wow.
And then the front porch was right here. You sit on the front porch without the trees and have this view of Newton Bald and all the ridges right here in front of you. The road at that time, of course, went right in front of the house. There wasn't US 441 over there. However, Champion built their railroad over there. US 441 is on top of the old railroad grade for Champion Paper Company. So all the traffic came right in front of their house here. But here's some of the artifacts.
I was going to say.
We were talking before, if you can find the glass or something like porcelain from a sink or that never disappears. You can always find glass and stuff.
So probably a pail or some kind of bucket or something.
Penny for a hog.
I hate that fire would happen, but
Blue glass? That's cool.
That's it. Would have been originally the pioneer log cabin of Robert Collins.
Collins.
Who was the keeper and also a paid guide. He kind of knew the area. And so all the scientists would come through here and hire him. He actually took all their scientific equipment up there like in the 1850s.
Wow.
And that's who all the peaks are named for. So it's named for Buckley, Klingman, Love. They were all three on the first expedition. Then Collins, Mount Collins.
Mount Collins, yes.
Then it goes Mount Kephart, Massanab, Charlie's Bunny. So that whole range, the whole central part of the Smokies, was all named for people who operated their bases out of this spot.
I can't imagine that having been a bridge with no rail. So one time this bridge right here had no railing. Could you imagine climbing, walking across that with that kind of water and no railing? Oh my God, I have no balance. I would totally fall. The bridge where I almost fell straight on my butt. Oh my gosh. I slid. I was like, I am totally going slow. All right, we're done. That's it for the hikes today. It was really great getting to hike with Steve today and help him celebrate his 900, his third 900. And got to do a little off-trail hiking, so that was kind of fun. And learned so much about history. I mean, I really need to start doing some reading. So it's time to end this video. Keep an eye out for the next video coming up. We're going to be doing a Halloween hike, Jerry and I, in costume. So be looking out for that video. And then also we're going to be doing a backpacking trip. So just keep an eye out. And if you are first time watching this, my video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to hit that like button. And until the next time, happy hiking. Hope to see you on the trail.